Welcome back to the Kiosk Presents. Today I'm speaking with celebrity chef Alex Guarnaschelli. You know her as the winner of Iron Chef America and a judge on Chopped. Talking about today going nuts with holiday cooking. Alex Guarnaschelli, welcome to the Kiosk Presents.
I like your going nuts with holiday cooking. That's what we're actually looking to avoid for this holiday season.
This is true. It can be a little overwhelming with holiday parties and everything else going on. It can be a little overwhelming to cook for the holidays. But speaking of cooking for the holidays, what is your favorite dish to make for your holiday guests?
Well, this season I'm really excited about this, which is a twice-baked sweet potato with pecans and brown sugar on top. You can make this entirely in advance and then just bake it and get it nice and hot and crispy. It is really dynamite, and I find people really love it. You know, there's a lot of traditional holiday dishes, squash with marshmallows or sweet potatoes with marshmallows. I like the protein and the toasty taste of the pecans in this, and I love the crust they form. The other thing is you could be wearing your evening gown or tuxedo and just pop these in the oven at the last minute so you don't feel so stressed and under pressure. I can remember my mom just running around the kitchen when I was a kid, trying to get everything done. I think a big trend for this year is let's make a menu where we can manage it better by having some things where we devote a lot of time, but a little bit in advance so we can actually enjoy the holiday more.
It's really great to be able to make really tasty and innovative dishes, but you can make them ahead of time, so you just have to pop them in the oven. You get to spend more time with your guests then, too.
I think so. I mean, I can remember holidays where, my mom, I know, she turned around having finished everything and people were getting ready to go home. And she just said, I've had it with this, let's do some stuff in advance. But also this idea of using nuts in kind of cool places where you may use heavier ingredients or ones that don't have as much taste. I love grinding some almonds, for example, and using that to give body to a simple vinaigrette made with lemon juice and olive oil. It adds a really toasty note. It sort of fills that sort of crunchy brown flavor and texture that we look for from something like a crouton. You can also use them to thicken the texture of a gravy instead of using a lot of butter and flour. I think you can remove some of that nap-inducing tendencies that menus can have and replace them with that toasty, protein-rich flavor of nuts. So I like that.
Well, that's really interesting. I'm not much of a cook myself, but I would never have thought of using nuts in gravy or in a dressing.
Yeah, totally. And I agree. I think, everybody's got a great inner chef, and these are some great ways that you can kind of bring that inner chef to the forefront for this holiday. I've got a lot of cool tips and recipes that are part of my partnership with Fisher Nuts. You can get them at fishernuts.com. So lots of stuff on the homepage that can kind of help you through the holidays, give you some new ideas. I'm a big champion of root vegetables and vegetables in general. We need to just keep on eating them.
Well, speaking of root vegetables, I did get a chance to go through your cookbook, Old School Comfort Food and the Way I Learned to Cook. You do have a lot of really cool recipes in here with root vegetables, and it's sort of part cookbook and part autobiography. It's really an interesting book.
Thank you. I just found myself with this list of little stories and snippets and moments, just cooking and learning how to cook professionally, but also cooking at home for my daughter and also learning from my parents. Cooking is a spectator sport first and foremost, and I just watched my parents cook my whole childhood, and it just kind of, I think it built in me kind of steadily and slowly this passion for food and cooking.
Yeah, I really loved all the little stories that you told about your parents introducing you to food and cooking and everything. It was really great. I really liked paging through this.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I make a simple tomato sandwich with my Aunt Aggie on page 24 of the book, and that was a really dramatic moment for me when I just fell in love with the purity of ingredients.
And you did talk in your book about how your aunt was a great inspiration to you as well.
Totally.
Well, what other projects are you working on?
I'm opening a restaurant, a Butter, in Midtown Manhattan in the next week or two, so I'm super excited about that. And I just wrapped a huge season of Chopped, where I watched a lot of people get chopped. I watched people win. I watched people chop a lot of stuff. Very dramatic, very compelling, unbelievable. Just people's stories and why they make the choices they do under pressure. It's just amazing how creative cooking can become.
I really do love Chopped. I watch it all the time, and it's
Thank
just
you.
so interesting to see what people do with these
Crazy, right?
crazy ingredients and mismatched ingredients, and they make a dish that's actually edible.
I know, and
Most
then,
of the time.
you know, they open the basket and right away they start cooking. I mean, 20 seconds later, it's just like it looks on the show, and that's what's so astounding is I say to myself, how are they going to think of something so quickly? But somehow they always do, and I think to people that watch it at home, you know, with their bowl of popcorn, they're saying, oh, this is a piece of cake. If I was on the show, it would be so easy, and whenever anybody finishes actually doing it, they say, oh my God, that was so hard.
Well, it's a great show. I'm so happy to see you on it.
Thank you.
Guarnaschelli, thank you so much for joining us here on the Kiosk Presents in Buffalo and Western New York.
Thank you.